It's Northway again. Welcome. Well, there are some very interesting, famous steam locomotives on the tracks today. We haven't asked for any opinions. I have chosen them myself. See what you think. Well, thanks to the kindness and scientific wizardry of this rather eccentric gentleman in the duffel coat and his young female assistant, we seem to have assembled three of the most famous locomotive engineers of all time in the car park here at Northway High Level, with George Jackson Churchward, with Charles Benjamin Collett, and with William Arthur Stanier. Well, George Churchward was in charge of the Great Western Railway from 1902 to 1921. And he had a great influence over the other two guys, Collett and Stanier. Well, I'm sorry we won't be able to see a Churchward locomotive going today, because I don't own one. Hornby are currently producing Knight of St. Patrick, which is a star class number 4013. That's going for about £125, so I've got to win the lottery before I'm buying that one. So we'll just have to make do with a photograph of his famous star locomotive. Well, as I say, we haven't got a Churchward locomotive, but this was the best we could do, because a castle is very close to a star. In fact, there were 12 of the stars that were converted into castles, so it shows you how close they are. See George Churchward standing very proudly on the buffer beam of Cadbury Castle. Well, he didn't actually design the castle, but he designed the star class, and Collett designed the castle, but it only involved a few minor changes and improvements from the star class. So it's really just a star plus, or a star plus plus, I suppose you could say. Well, Churchward was a bit of a pioneer. Well, he had to be, because not long before he took over at the Great Western Railway, they'd been using broad gauge. So a lot of those locomotives had to be replaced. So he dragged the Great Western Railway into the 20th century, you could say. And his designs were based on ideas which he collected from all over the world, mainly USA and France. Well, here we see Charles Collett feeling a bit adventurous. He's climbed up onto the roof of the signal box there. Well, Charles Collett was the chief mechanical engineer of the Great Western Railway from 1922 to 1941. And he followed on from Churchward. Churchward was like the Jedi Master and Collett was like the Padawan. Well, Collett designed the castles, although you could say Churchward started them off and he improved them. Well, after the castles came the kings. Well, here we have King George I, And we're going to send King George I down to Northway Central, where there's a rake of 5 British Railways Mark I carriages waiting to be brought. So let's get on with some train action. Well, King George is just about to reverse up into platform 1. Well, King George has successfully coupled up with these Mark I carriages. Now these are the badly behaved ones, so we'll see if they can do a bit better today. Fingers crossed. Well, following on from the stars, which were designed by Churchward, Collett designed the castles, which are one of the best locomotives ever made. In fact, they were so good, the London Midland Scottish Railway, the LMS, wanted to buy 50 of them, but the GWR wouldn't sell. So they said, well, in that case, can we at least have some drawings of what they're like? And they said no. So do you know what the LMS did? The LMS recruited William Arthur Stanier, who was one of Churchward's draftsmen. So he learnt a lot from Churchward. He did work for the GWR for a while, then he was headhunted off to the LMS. Well, he was knighted, so we should give him his proper title. Here he is, Sir William Stanier, and we're just awaiting one of his famous creations, said to be the most versatile and reliable locomotive ever built, the Black 5. Well, waiting in the high level station, we have a rake of LMS coaches. These are the Stanier type LMS coaches, and they're mainly Airfix. I think one of them is mainline, and there may even be a Hornby one at the back. Well, we'll be able to see the Black 5 pulling these around, hopefully. Well, one coach which I'm pleased to be able to put into this train is the 12-wheeled dining car. A very nice model there. So that's going to appear in the middle of this rake. Okay, black 5 all coupled up and ready to roll. Well, there is the Stanier Black 5, number 45116. Hope you enjoyed that.